Hey y'all, good evening. Come on in. Come on in. Go ahead and tag, share, and please do invite someone. Tag, share, and invite someone to come on in. Good evening to you. Welcome. It is Wednesday, y'all. Midweek. The last day of the month. 2024 came in, and it's already the last day. The last day of January. Come on in. Come on in. And although it came in, I'm talking about it came in. You hear me? Very fast, weighty for some, stormy for some, a lot of obstacles for some, many valleys. Some people may be in the fiery furnace. But guess what? We're still here. We're still here. We're still here. And that is something to be thankful about. Do you hear me? But welcome. Come on in. I don't intend to be before you long, but I do have some words of encouragement for you on this evening. I missed you guys on last Wednesday, but I was at an awesome service. It was an awesome encounter. It was awesome to just be in the room full of life, full of miracles, people being delivered, set free, people being healed in real time. In real time. And actually, last week it was very refreshing, very needed. The last few days of the week have some beautiful encounters, witness some amazing things. No matter what is going on in your atmosphere, in your sphere of where you are, in your environment, do know that God is still God and He is still doing a thing. The enemy has to be on his assignment because he has a job to do. But guess what? When you know your end, when you know what He has said, and when you know what you have been promised through the Lord, through the Word of God, then you go through your process a little bit different. Do you understand? You go through your process, no matter how you may be feeling. You go through it a little different. You go through it optimistic. You go through it, yes, in pain. You go through it sometimes wanting to give up, wanting to throw in the towel. But then there's that beam of hope. That's that word that you may get. That's that reassurance that may come. But before I get ahead of myself, good evening. And thank you for joining and tuning in to Wisdom Wednesday. For those of you that are new, I'm Dr. P, Dr. Perkins, Coach L, Coach P. I do a lot of different things. So I wear a lot of different hats. I'm a lot of things to different people. But one thing that I love to do is give words of encouragement. Sometimes they come out as encouraging words. They may come out as correction. They may come out as aha moments. However it hits your door. The Wisdom Wednesdays are just small segments that I come to do, that I've been doing for almost 4 years now, um, to just bring uh, words of encouragement, words of transformation, words of, like I said, of enlightening. Um, One thing about it is transformation. Um, is something that we all should want. You should never want to be the same. You should never want to remain in a place when you can grow. Transformation includes change. And some people, they don't want to change. But so you can be your best self and maximize your own full potential. That includes change. I tell people that I may come before, whether if it's speaking engagements, whether if I'm in a room teaching, whether any individuals that I may encounter, that not change is inevitable, right? That's something, I mean, that's inevitable. And learning is every day. So I consider myself to be a lifelong learner, not like all the time I'm going somewhere to get some type of certification or a degree or whatever the case may be, but I learn something every single day. We cannot be in the capacity or be in a place where we think we know it all. We know all, because it's not that way. And we have to learn to take knowledge in and learn from it, right? It may not feel good, it may not sound good when you hear it, but it's for our good, right? So just briefly on this evening, I want to talk to you about afflictions. So the title tonight is it was good that I was afflicted. Okay, so it was good and it is good that you're being afflicted, right? Sometimes we look at affliction, we look at hurts, we look at things that may come upon us as something that's negative, as bad. And it's a lot of when it does happen, it is, right? Sometimes you asking yourself, well, why? Why me? Why do I always have to go? Why is this continue to be happening to me? Why? You know, and we need to ask ourselves why sometimes. Sometimes we blame afflictions on our own self, right? For the individuals that are believers, and if you study and know the word, even in the Bible, it says many of the afflictions of the righteous, but he delivers from them all. It says many, right? And the word many means this, it's not singular, it's not gonna be one, two. We don't know how many, how the number of what we would go through, but it says many. So we know it's going to be constant afflictions that we had been in life and that we will go through. But it says that he will deliver us from them all, every one of them. We may not know when they will come, but we know they're going to come. We may not know what they will be, but he does, because that's in the plan that he knows for our life. It's not to harm us. Those things are not to harm us, but they are part of the expected end. They're part of our process. They're part of our journey, right? But some afflictions we bring on ourselves, and some God allows to happen, like we always talk about Job, right? That was allowed. Those things that Job went through, those afflictions, those things that happened to him, and they were horrible. And they dealt with family, they dealt with friends, they dealt with him losing his children, they dealt with him losing friends, they dealt with people. He didn't do anything, but he was afflicted. But the end result was he was delivered from them all. He was at the end, he received increase, promotions, double rewards, so many blessings, but he went through. Even Jesus himself, he was afflicted. A lot of that he didn't bring on himself. It was a process that he had to go through. And he went through those things for us, right? He went through. He had to, because there was a greater end. We don't know why we go through what we go through, but there's a greater end. And sadly, sometimes people die in the process. I don't mean a physical death. Some that they lose faith. They run away from the word, away from the Lord, away from his decrees, when really we should be running to them. We should be reading them to understand them. Because if we read to understand instead of read to read, we will know that in the end, we are victorious. When you read, we got to read for understanding, to know that no matter what may come my way, the afflictions that may happen, whether I caused them or he allowed them, they are working for my good. Joseph didn't expect that his brothers to be jealous, to sell him off, to be thrown in a pit. He was gifted in everything. He was a dreamer. He didn't expect his own family to do what they did. And his father had to grieve and didn't know what the brothers had done. Yes, he was afflicted. Yes, he went through. Yes, he was locked up for a while. But guess what? Even when it was time for his deliverance to come, for him to be set free from the captives, even when it was time, he said, forgive them, for they know not what they did, and they don't know what they're doing to you. So even if you've been afflicted by people at work, by your own family, even by your children, whatever your boss, whatever it may be, your best friends, whomever, listen, forgive them, for they don't even know what they're doing. But it is part of your process. Who's going to say, because let me tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. The many afflictions, the many things that I've been through and maybe currently going through. Listen, we don't want to go through them. Lord knows they don't feel good. But when wisdom knows, and when you begin to mature to even realize that although I'm going through this right here, I know what the end is going to be. It's going to be elevation. It's going to be promotion. It's going to be whatever reward. Because even doing what you may be going through, the process is pruning some things in you. It's healing some things in you. It's freeing some things in you. If you notice, you don't even respond like you used to, but it's nothing but the glory of God. But I want to read to you, hey, y'all, I want to read to you this. And if I didn't greet you, I'm sorry. I mean, and I don't, many of you do know, and I've explained this before. I will go back and read and follow up on the comments. It's kind of a little distraction if I try to do it while I'm trying to teach too. So I want to stay on task. So your comments and different things, I appreciate them. I will go back to read them. Okay. So I want to read you this scripture, 119, your scriptures, 119. And I want to start at verse 66. Teach me knowledge and good judgment. So teach me your knowledge and allow me to make good judgment. For I trust your commands. For I trust what you say. I trust what you told me to do. Before I was afflicted, I went astray. But now I obey your word. When I didn't know better, I do better. Before I was afflicted, I was doing all this other stuff, what I wasn't supposed to be doing. I went astray. I went away from your word. But now I obey your word. Now I understand what you have been saying. Now the knowledge that I have, I understand I got to go through to get to, no matter what it is, to get to my healing, to get to my deliverance, to get to my freedom. I got to go through to get to. So I understand. And even while I'm afflicted, you allow me to make good judgment calls and respond well during the infliction. No, it don't feel good. But just like David, or not David, that's like Daniel, excuse me, and his friends when they was in the fiery furnace, because they did not bow down. They were afflicted, right? They went through, I mean, it was hot up in that furnace. But guess what? His friends that was thrown in there, but they didn't bow down. They didn't get burned. Their clothes didn't get messed up. They came out smelling good, looking good, free, delivered, and some more things. The affliction's not going to feel good, y'all. But when you know, you make sound judgment and you understand to obey his word, because it's in the obedience that healing, freedom, you're able to respond well and everything else. Verse 68, you are good and what you do is good. Teach me your decrees. Let me go to verse 71. It was good for me that I was afflicted. That sound kind of, So you mean to tell me that it was a good thing that I was afflicted so that I might learn your decrees? The law from your mouth is more precious to me than thousands of pieces of silver and gold. So you mean to tell me it was good that I was afflicted? Yeah, because guess what? It's sad to say, in the good times, and if you be honest, many don't run to his word. Many might not even know what to say, know the promises. But when the affliction comes, when bad things happen, we tend to run to God. Oh, you need him. Oh, this God, help, deliver, do this, that, and the other. So the affliction, it humbles us at times. And that shouldn't be that way. But it was good because then you understood what God said. He said he will never leave you nor forsake you. He said he will lift up a standard when the enemy comes in like a storm. He said he'll deliver you from this, that, and the other. He said he was your provider. He said he was your healer. But it's in the affliction that many times, and it shouldn't be that way, because we should know the decrees at all times. But it is good that you was afflicted so that it could prune some things out of you. It's been good that you was afflicted, although you got so much love in your heart for these different people. But he had to show you it was good that they walked out on you, because they weren't for you anyway. They weren't on your team. It was good that that door was shut in your face, because you weren't supposed to go through that door anyway. I got something better for you, son. I got something better for you, daughter. It was good when that illness came before you and then you heard the doctor's report, that you came running to me, to him who was Jehovah Rapha, the healer. It was good when that light bill couldn't be paid and you looking everywhere else instead of in the word, when it tells you in Matthew 6:25-33-34, take no thought. Because if he take care of the birds, the little, if he take care of those things, for surely he gonna take care of you. Why? Because he is Jehovah Jireh. It was good that you was afflicted and being afflicted, because he's omnipresent. He's everywhere, and although he's all-knowing, He knows what you're going through. He knows what you need. It was good that when all hell broke loose, that you came to know that he is the peace. He is the comforter. It tells us to come to him, those who are heavy laden, and he will give us rest. Because it is through him and in him that we move, live, and have our being. It is through him and in him that there's nothing missing, lacking, or broken. So oftentimes it is the affliction that causes us to rise up, that causes us to see who we are in him because of what he says, to causes us to remember that we're fearfully, wonderfully made, to causes us to remember that if we have a faith as small as a mustard seed, to understand and know that he is God today, tomorrow, and forevermore. So do not look down in small beginnings, because you might have this business idea and it keeps flopping or failing or no support. So it has you feeling rejection and feeling some type of way. No, that affliction, and you going to him and knowing his decrees and his promises, going to cause you to not even depend on my man, but to take his word back to him, because it's what he said. He said that he's a provider. If he gives you the vision, he sure enough going to give you the provision. It is him with that affliction when your husband or your wife or your significant other, whatever the case may be, you've been hurt in pain, they left, or whatever the case may be, you run to him because he knows the plans he has for us, not to harm us. And although, yes, you didn't plan to have a baby out of wedlock, or get married and get into divorce or whatever. But if we can be honest, a lot of time things happen and God fixes it. Although we have to learn through the affliction, because we made it our will and not his will. See, the Bible tells us when he blessed, he added no sorrow. When he blessed, he added no sorrow. If it's from here, it's not going to be attached. Sorrow will not be attached to it. So I wanted to come by tonight to tell you that think it not strange, or these fiery darts and things that are coming or have been, that some of you are coming out of, the valley some of you are coming out of. You might feel lonely and isolated, because listen, when he called you, when you're going through your stuff, it ain't everybody else's thing. You are going through it, and he's the only one that can deliver you through his word, through what you may do. But it takes work. So stop complaining during the affliction. Complaining is not going to change it. Crying is not going to change it. It's not. Know his decrees. Know his promises. Know what he's already told us, what we will go through in life. But at the end of the day, remember that it was good and is good that you, me, we have been afflicted, so that we may know his decrees, we may know his promises. But remember, victory is at the end of these afflictions, no matter what it looks like right now. You're on the winning team. I'm on the winning team. Thank God for the afflictions. Thank God in advance for not giving up, for not throwing in the towel, even for him removing things that are not like him, so that you can see your expected end. I hope I said something on this evening that has resonated with your spirit, man. Listen, what's going on in this world and what is to come, we cannot, God, why me? retreat, throwing us out. Listen, we got to have a backbone. We got to get some stuff together. We have to get our confidence and be in Him, be immovable, because the afflictions are going to come. And as long as you keep getting moved, beat down, bogged down, wanting to throw in the towel, you will continue to be in the same cycle. You will continue to go through different things and not win. Winning brings elevation. You hear new levels, bigger devils. It's the truth. It's the truth. But I thank God for the afflictions that I've been through, the ones I currently go through, because they have made me stronger, made me bolder, made me more confident, made me more rely on Him, because I know what His decrees tell me, and I'm just going through the process. Do it hurt? Is it sometimes like, whoo, God, yeah. But when I know that He's already prepared me to win this thing, to go through this thing, and what is on the opposite side, I endure like a soldier. And that's what I encourage you to do. Endure like a soldier. Get your mind right. Renew it. Have your focus remain and stay on Him. Stay armored. Stay dressed up. Stay suited up. Because you never know when your name gonna be called to get on the battlefield. Will you be ready? Will you be ready? God bless you. I hope I said something to you as I said, because we got to be in this thing together. I encourage you to be not weary and well doing. Don't be weary. Don't be weary. We got this thing. We got this thing. Just remember what He said and remember His decrees and know that victory is ours. See you next time, Lord's willing, on Wisdom Wednesday. Have a good evening.